It was in French, right? So he would cry. Madame, dites-lui d'arrêter de chanter. Ferme ta gueule.
In the YouTube algorithm, the people are represented by three separate yet equally important groups. The one that creates, the one that views, and the one that just can't help but react. Under Title 17, I am a member of an elite squad, also known as the Special Viewers Unit. These are the stories.
Alright, so time for a little chicken soup. I'm just using whatever I have in my kitchen right now. Red onion, whole bulb of garlic, huge bay leaves, a whole chicken, some water and salt, and I'm going to let that simmer for about 3 to 4 hours once it comes to a boil. Oh, and a dry lemon here. Oh, hello! This is just kind of a messy mukbang today. I'm going to eat my dessert first because I don't like warm yogurt and my soup has to cool off. But I made a homemade soup today. Just I was in the mood for that because we've been kind of feeling under the weather. So I'm going to eat. This is mango yogurt. It's so good. With some Lotus Biscoff cookies if you have not had these. So I just like to crush them in my yogurt.
A little bit. 2 cookies. Crushed inside.
So it looks like that. Another level. Baby girl, you had your butchers. These are so good to dip in tea. Oh yes, indeed they are. So yeah, I've just been feeling like eating something homemade today. Nothing wrong with differences. Imagine if we were all the same, how boring it would be. I have some vegetable crackers. My favorite crackers growing up were called vegetable... Is it vegetable thins? I don't know. And we have some kiri cheese squares. I remember once I had these in a mukbang and people were like criticizing, like, she's eating hunks of cream cheese. Like, you've never had kiri cheese? Like, Toot Finny. If you're annoyed by my cat, I don't know what to say. I mean, she lives here, you don't. Cheese. So I'm gonna put a little bit of cheese on it. So it's like my version of tomato rice soup and there's potatoes in it. Very good. There's a huge potato I can't cut because it's swimming away. It'll burn me, I know it.
Potato I can't cut because it's swimming away. It'll burn me, I know it. What are you looking at?
So good. So I'm a bit low energy today because, like I said, I feel like we're coming down with something. Maybe from the AC blaring all the time, I don't know. But really good, heartwarming meal. Is this potato? Yeah. Comfort food. Like I said, like, ooh, hot potato. Hot potato, pass it on. What are you looking at? She's like, don't touch me. You're not giving me food. What's your favorite guy's soup? What's your, yeah, guys' favorite soup when you're sick or whatever? Julie. No, baby girl. I'm gonna go like this, watch. Move. Move, move, move. Come on. Good girl. Like, this soup reminds me of sick days from school. which I loved so much. Like, seriously. Some of them were faked. Most of them were faked. Some not. The faked ones, the parents always know. Because everyone does it, right? Fakes being ill so they don't have to go to school. But being from my part of Canada, we had a lot of snow days, which are awesome. I used to take the school bus to school, which I hated. Especially since I had to take the school bus with like a bunch of like older bullies, like guys. I don't remember much about them. One was obsessed. I remember one having a cleft palate, and one being obsessed with Snow. You know the singer Snow? Infama. And they were like in 8th grade, and I was like in grade 3 or 4. I don't, you know, I was younger than them, and I hated going to the bus stop early because they would make fun of the way I would walk. I was a chubby kid. If that were me now, I wouldn't care at all. That's the thing, I guess, too, you know, remember growing up is some days high school and school will end and you become an adult and you kind of think, what the heck, you know? But actually, there is still a lot of adult bullying going on. So I guess sometimes it doesn't end.
You're supposed to grow out of it.
Not everyone does. We had a bus driver who was like straight out of the, you know, Miss, what's her name from South Park? Do you want an office referral? The bus driver, the crabby one with the bird on her head. She would yell and scream at these bully guys because they wouldn't just target me. The one guy would think he's cool and sing Informer over and over on the bus. And he really sucked. He was not good. And it was annoying. It actually made one of the kindergarten kids cry. It was in French, right? So he would cry. Madame, dites-lui d'arrêter de chanter. Ferme ta gueule. I'm not kidding. Maybe that's why he bullied us. He knew he sucked and he was protecting. I don't know. They made fun of my weight. But I used to get sick on the bus a lot. Remember I told you guys? One time I got sick. It really peeved him off. And he just like doubled down on being mean. Like, sorry, what do you want me to do? Looking back on it, I just kind of feel bad now because he never had anyone take it. Like, he was in an older grade, but like I never saw him with any family. And I heard his dad was an alcoholic and was abusive towards him. And I mean, I did see the cops a lot at his home. He lived on the same, like in the same area. Oh my gosh, this one guy, I swear, father of the year. He walked his kids. I went to the same bus stop for years and years. He walked his 6 kids, he had 6 kids, to the bus stop every year, every day. He looked like that guy from TMZ, something Lopez. Or I don't know what his name is. This chicken is too stringy because it's like shredded. He looked like that guy. Perez Hilton, I think. Every day, every year. His wife never, ever, ever took the kids to the bus stop. He always did it. I used to see her take the kids to the park, so she was mobile. So all I can assume is that he was super sweet and let her sleep in every morning. Or maybe they had a deal. I'll get the kids ready and you walk them to the bus stop. I don't know. I'd imagine with 6 kids you have to take turns. Hello! Hello guys, hi. Today I have a special mukbang. Well, it's kind of like the rest, but food-wise. Today we're gonna eat some fettuccine alfredo with chicken and a smash burger. And smash burger, 1, 2, 3. I'm very happy to have this meal. I'm very thankful. And to drink I have Barbican. Have you ever had that? It's like a malt beverage. It's really good, fruit flavored.
And the rest of it is Parmesan, which means emergency Parmesan shopping coming soon. Yes.
When you order pasta from anywhere, it should be obligatory to have that. So this is a smashed cheesy smash burger. Yum.
Brioche bun looks like. Pickles, onions, ketchup. Double patty, beauty bite.
Oh my gosh. out of this world. Looks like more like pappardelle than fettuccine. There's broccoli, chicken, mushroom. And speaking of mushrooms, I thought I would talk to you guys about this case that I came upon on TikTok. I follow a lot of true crime on there. Very tragic. So like any cases I discuss on my channel going forward as well, because I haven't really done many cases yet, but I plan on doing more videos like this if you enjoy them. My heart really just goes out to the victims in all of this, because at the end of the day, it is a tragedy and lives were lost. There is this case that happened July 29th in the rural town of Leongatha in Australia. So in this town in Australia, on the 29th, a woman named Erin Patterson, she cooked a lunch. She had a luncheon for her former in-laws. You know, her in-laws were present. There's some of their relatives, and she did invite her ex-husband. For whatever reason, he was busy or something and couldn't attend. So she ended up making them a dish that had mushrooms. Nothing tasted out of the ordinary. But then, several hours later, the relatives became very ill with flu-like symptoms, nausea, getting sick, whatnot. Ended up in the hospital, and sadly, 3 of the relatives succumbed to the illness and passed away. One of them is still in the hospital fighting for their lives, awaiting a liver transplant, because whatever they were affected by targeted their liver aggressively, causing their organs to shut down. So eventually it was revealed that Erin had prepared a dish made from possible death cat mushrooms. Now, death cat mushrooms are the deadliest mushroom on the planet, but they kind of like look and taste just like regular mushrooms apparently. They don't taste poisonous, which makes them dangerous, because how many times have we walked through a forest and seen a bunch of mushrooms and thought, oh wow, I wonder if I could eat those, you know? Well, don't. You never know what they are, and they could be poisonous and deadly. Now with death cat mushrooms, it takes like it can take several hours to fall ill, and by that point you just think maybe food poisoning or flu, you know, you just kind of wait it out, and by that point it's too late, tragically. So she's actually a suspect right now, because there's an investigation going on, and the plot thickens because the ex-husband reported that last year he had fallen ill himself and ended up in the hospital for a long time with a very mystery kind of gastro illness, and I mean they thought he was going to pass away several times. So that they find to be a little bit of a weird coincidence, and the fact that the in-laws were targeted in this case, in this poisoning, is something a bit suspect and something to take seriously and not just ignore. Another thing that they discovered was a food dehydrator that had been disposed of at a local tips, which is like a disposal site, like a waste disposal site, kind of like a landfill. And they are currently testing it because it is believed to belong to Erin Patterson, and they're testing it for traces of death cat mushrooms. So it's looking less and less good in her favor, you know? Also, she didn't get sick at all. I think her and maybe her children or something. I don't remember exactly if the children were there, but I think there were children there. They didn't get sick, and she coincidentally didn't get sick. Now, I know people argue, you know, you could just say that you don't like mushrooms. Maybe she hated mushrooms. Fair enough. But then why make a dish that you yourself can't enjoy with the rest of the people? Why make mushrooms if you don't like them? Maybe for other people, but it just makes sense. If you hate them so much, why would you even think of making a dish with mushrooms? Even for other people. I mean, you know, you could easily make something else that everyone would enjoy together. So I'm not being accusatory. I'm just going by what I'm hearing on the news. To me, it looks fishy, especially with the dehydrator and then the previous incident with her ex-husband, you know, inviting it's almost one of those, like, I've seen a lot of forensic files, and there's like these perfect crime cases where it's just, you know, people you hate get invited to a luncheon prepared by you, and everyone gets poisoned, and they blame it on like food poisoning, or, you know, I didn't know, you know, ignorance, I didn't know they were poisonous mushrooms kind of thing. Which it could be, because there still wasn't a motive revealed as to why if she was complicit and unaliving them, why would she do it, you know? They would have to be close enough, I would think, that they would all go to dinner together. They would have to be on friendly terms, right? So I hope that the man who's in recovery right now pulls through. And if he does, down the line, he might be able to share some of his story. But I think when she was interviewed about the situation, she like misspoke. and talked about him in the past tense, which investigators did catch that slip up. I guess we'll see what happens. Either way, very tragic. And honestly, it was eye-opening for me, this case, because like I said, you go for walks in forest and you think, I wonder if those mushrooms are edible, just like mushrooms in the store. They should probably put a sign if there are, you know, if it is a region where they grow a lot of death caps, or where, sorry, I should say a lot of death caps grow, they should maybe warn people and say, you know, if you see any wild mushrooms, do not pick them, do not eat them, leave them alone. Same thing with anything poisonous. There should be a warning, because a lot of people are not, you know, aware of that. Me included. I mean, there's like an instinct in me that says, you know, don't eat it, which is, I'm thankful for that. But anyway, the people eating the food probably didn't even know that they were picked, like, death caps. They would not be able to tell just from taste, apparently. But if this victim comes to and survives the ordeal, he'll definitely be able to give more details. I did hear in one news report that she first claimed that she got them from a market. So, and then her story changed. So there's just a lot of things that make her look suspicious. So as of right now, she's just a suspect while I investigate more. The more evidence, the better. I hate thick, like roundish patties with like medium in the middle. Ugh. Those burgers were so good. It was a double patty, but because they were smashed and well done, it just tasted like one larger one, and they were seasoned to perfection. It is so important to properly season your meat when you're making burgers that a lot of places fail to do this. I love Burger King and the charbroiled flavor, but they don't season their beef enough, you know? McDonald's, the only time I tasted good seasoning on their burgers was when they had the Arch Deluxe. It had a lot of black pepper, and these burgers had a lot of salt and pepper, and I could really taste it. Maybe a bit of garlic salt,